Hello. Yesterday we did sections 1.1 and 1.2 together, which were on adding and subtracting and then writing out numbers, a little discussion on place value and rounding, just kind of getting our feet wet with the book. Today we're looking at section 1.3, which is on multiplying numbers. In case you are ever in a situation you just need to do quick multiplication either in your head, or if you just need to jot it down, it's worth grabbing a calculator or it's not near you. Lead in to this is just a quick discussion of what multiplication is. Multiplication occurs when we talk about areas a lot. So if I need to kind of paint something, so the lead in here, and as we go through this discussion, please have your note packets out, filling them in as we go along. So you're looking to paint an accent wall in a room. You measure the wall and find it is 3 yards tall and 5 yards wide. If a bucket of paint will cover 20 square yards, how many buckets should we get? Well, I've kind of drawn it out here for us. Really, it's a 3 by 5, and that's what multiplication really means. When we look at some applications, it's usually a discussion about area. 3 times 5 is going to give me, I can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 yards squared there, and if a bucket of paint will cover 20, I can't just do, if it will cover 20, then I'm good with actually just getting 20. So I just need one bucket and have a little bit to spare. And that's something else you want to account for. You usually want to account for about 10% waste whenever you're doing a project. 10% of 15 is 1.5, so we're definitely still in the safe zone. Multiplying numbers. What does it actually mean to multiply? For instance, what is 3 times 4? Multiplication is really a repeated addition. I can see over here it's 3 rows of 4. Really what it's saying is it's 4a's plus 4a's plus 4a's 3 times. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is going to give me 12. And that's really what multiplication is. It is repeated addition. How many times I need to repeat it is what the first number tells us. So definition of multiplication already filled in for you. Multiplication is really just repeated addition. To multiply A and B means to add A repeatedly for B times, or it could be to add B repeatedly for A times. It's interchangeable. Up here I could have also had 4 rows of 3a's, and I would have had the same thing. That's called the commutative property of multiplication. So I can either have a plus a plus a plus a for b times, or I could have b plus b plus b. And how many times do I need to add b to itself? Well, whatever a is, a times. I'll get the same number, commutative property of multiplication. What would multiplying by 1 do? It would mean just to add it to nothing. I just have the number. I only have one group of the thing, so it does nothing. So multiplying by 1, I would say, gives me same number. What about multiplying by 0? That would be like adding something to itself 0 times. I haven't even done it at all. So multiplying by 0, we know always gives us 0. So always equals 0 because I don't have any groups. Multiplying by 1 is just I have one group. Something that I also want us to be quick at is just quick multiplication. Having down up to 12 times 12 just memorized. It's worth it not to have to pull out your phone and waste the time, because time is money. So let's do this. Take 2 minutes here and fill in the multiplication table. It's not a regular one. Numbers are scattered around, and try to time yourself. We should definitely, probably in under 2 minutes. So take 2 minutes, pause the video now. After 2 minutes is up, you can push play again, and we'll go back over it. Okay, now that we're back, let's talk about it. After filling in the multiplication table, it should look like so. It might be a little tough to read, so it would be 2, 5, 8, 1, 3, 6, 9, 7, 4, because it's all filled in there. Let's see if I can zoom in so you can take a second just to check. So I'm going to zoom in here on that table. You can check with yours, make sure you got it all right. So I'll let it sit there for just a couple seconds. I haven't decided, it might be where I just multiplication table and have us time ourselves, and wherever you are, where you are, and we'll grade it so we can kind of get good at that quick multiplication. We need it down for any application we might be looking at. So that's quick multiplication table we just need to have down. If we need to practice it, we just need to practice it, just like other skills. Double digit multiplication. So for example, if I have 28 times 3, really it's saying I have 3 times whatever I had up above. Well, the number 28 is 2 10s and 8 1s. So I'm multiplying by 3. I now have 3 times as many of those things. 8 times 3 is 24. So now really I have 24 1s. If I do 3 times 2, I now have 6. I have 6 10s. So then I'm here. I have 6 10s plus 24 1s. And then that's what we did, that whole carryover process. 24 1s is really 2 10s and 4 1s. Now I have 6 10s plus 2 10s, and math all those like terms. They're counting the same thing. So in total I have 8 10s plus 4 1s. I know that is the number 84. We do this when we do it back in 3rd grade. 28 times 3. I do 3 times 8 is 4, and this is the whole carry over the 2-bit. And that's the step that's going on right here in the bigger star. Now I do 3 times 2 is 6 10s plus the additional 2 that came from before, and that gives me 84. So really it's the same process. One's just written out, the other one is our old familiar multiplication method. I would like you to take 2 minutes and try, it says use both methods for these in the following example. I would like you to do A using the longer written out method right here. And then I would like you to do B using our old familiar method, probably from grade school, and to be able to see the connection. A lot of what we study in this first chapter, because it's definitely a review from a long time ago, is what we're really doing when we were doing that before. So take 2 minutes, pause the video now, and come back after 2 minutes, and we will go over it. Okay, welcome back. In part A, if I have 43 times 5, well, really I have 4 10s, 3 1s, and I'm multiplying by 5. So really I'm gonna have 5 times as many things. I have now 15 1s. 5 times 4 is 20 10s. Well, 20 10s is really 200. Plus an additional 15 1s, well, that's really 110. And 5 1s gives me in total the number 215. I also talked about the other day about how we can get quicker in our math. If I do 43 times 5 in my head, I'm really doing 40 times 5 to give me 200. And I need 3 groups 5. 3 times 5 is 15. I'm doing 200 plus 15, and that's what we're writing out here. I get, indeed, 215. If I do 73 times 4, using our old method, we get 292. 4 times 3 is 12, so I bring a 2 down, carry the 1. 4 times 7 is 28, plus an additional 110 is 29 tenths. If I have double-digit multiplication, I have to do each of the numbers individually. So I do the ones place, then I do the tens place. So my first step here is to multiply the ones. So I have 89 times 24. I'm going to deal with the ones case. So that would be the 4. I do 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus an additional 3 is 35. Now I'm going to multiply by the 2, but that 2 is not a 1. It's in the tens place, so that's why we would always put a 0 down here. So this is really step 2 we're doing now. Now we're going to do the 2. It looks like here 89 times 24. So far we have 356. That's from 89 times 4. Now I'm going to deal with the 2. I put a 0 down here because I'm really dealing in the tens place. 2 times 9 is 18. Put an 8 there, carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. That's step 2. Final, step 3 is add. Add up all of my pieces. I have 6, 3 and 1, gives me then 11, so I end up with 2,136. biggest thing we just need to remember was to put an additional 0 there when we work up to higher powers. So step 2 is a newer step. Application of this is when we deal with miles per gallon. If you are working as maybe like a semi-truck, highway truck driver, you need to determine you're going to be able to make it a certain distance, only filling up once or twice for however long your journey takes you. You need to be able to do this quick multiplication and visualize what that means, and know that you need to do multiplication. So according to EPA rating, the average gas mileage for a certain car is about 24 miles per gallon. How many miles can be expected from that car if it can hold 16 gallons? If we're going to run it till it's dry as a bone. So here I'm going to end up doing 24 times 16. Because I know each gallon is going to give me 24 miles. There's 16 gallons. So I write down 24 times 16. And I do my multiplication. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus an additional 1 is 144. That's really, if we're doing 24 times 6. Now I'm going to do the 1. So worrying about the 1, I need to put an additional 0 here. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Now the last step is going to be to add up all my pieces. I get 4, 8, 3. That car could make it 384. What? Well, I need to answer the question. I'm going to write it out back as a sentence. How many total miles? So the car can drive 384 miles in total. If it was full and it drove it all the way to empty. The last yo-yo, you're on your own, is I want you to do this for your car. How many miles could your car drive on a full tank? Gallons in a full tank and miles per 1 gallon. If you don't, I am giving you permission right now to pull out your phone, to use it for 2 minutes, and it needs to be put away. Look up that information for your car. Look up that information for your car. So, for example, I have a Subaru Outback. So let's say gallons held in Subaru Outback. Google can be a beautiful thing. It looks like it can hold 18.5 gallons. And I know from driving that it gets about 24 miles per gallon on the highway. So let's do a highway trip. So 18.5 times 24. I'm going to round that just to be 19. Or maybe, actually, if I'm going to drive, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to say it only gets 18 gallons. Because I want to account for a little bit of that percent error I was talking about. I don't want to push it all the way. I want to give myself a few extra miles to account for. Miles per 1 gallon is 24 gallons. Those were my numbers. So pause the video now, look up whatever your numbers are, try it, come back after 2 minutes. Welcome back. Find out how far my car could go with a full belly of gas. It'd be 18 times 24. 4 times 8, 32. 4 times 1 plus an additional 3 is 7. That's really what 18 times 4 is. Now I need to worry about this 2. Put an additional 0 down here. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Put an additional 1 is 3. In total, I add those things up, and I'm going to get that my car could go 432 miles on a full fill at the pump. That is it for 1.3. Your homework for the day would be the associated questions for section 1.3, which looks like it's page 35, A13 and 27, B1 and 13, and C1, 5, 8, 13, 19, and 21. You can consult your assignment sheet for that. Thank you.